We're back on the Juice on the Cuse podcast. Wes Chang here with you, and we're in the swing of Syracuse basketball season. The Orange stand at 3-0 after a rout of Drexel. We welcome on the Juice Online senior college basketball analyst and 2003 national champion, Andrew Kouwe. Andrew, how's it going today? Good to see you.
Good to see you as well, Wes.
So, Andrew, again, 3 games in, Syracuse 3-0 with 3 routs of lesser opponents, but give me a macro level look at how you think they look so far.
I mean, I think all Syracuse basketball fans are probably excited just watching the team, right? You see a level of athleticism, you see just kind of the energy and commitment, and I think it's just exciting to watch them play. To your point, the competition isn't as what it's going to be when they come to ACC play, or with Houston and Kansas coming up. But I think you see a team that's just really exciting to watch and has a lot of potential. So I think that's the fun part, is that you're watching these games and you're like, you see it, like we're going to be a lot better in 3 months than we are today. And that's exciting. So I think that's something that all Syracuse fans are happy to watch.
So I mentioned at the top when I introduced you, 2003 national champion, and one of your teammates on that team was Carmelo Anthony, probably the most famous player to come through the Syracuse program. And now his son, Kiyan, playing on the Syracuse Orange, starting the last couple of games with JJ Starling out. Is it weird for you as a former teammate of Carmelo Anthony to now see his son playing with the Orange?
My brother sent me a text, after the first game and saying, "Wow, you're watching your teammate's son play. Don't you feel old?" And say, "Hey, that's the way the world works. It keeps turning with it. No matter what." So I think it's cool. I think it's really exciting. I think that's what again brings excitement to Syracuse basketball. It's not only you're seeing, obviously you have the transfer guys coming in, so that's new. But you have someone like Kiyan with Carmelo, so there's like a familiarity a little bit. You have Donnie coming back from last year, where everyone was excited about him. So you're kind of getting that feel of like you kind of know the team a little bit. Not like it used to be in the days, but we all know in college basketball these days, every year that a team is different. And I think anytime you can have some familiarity, maybe it's a little bit more unique than what it was, 20 years ago. I think that's great. That's what Syracuse basketball is all about. We grew up, with the Lawrence Mullen, rest in peace, the Preston Shumperts, the Hakeem Works, the Jerry, guys that we watch year in, year out. Now college basketball is obviously tremendously different in that way, but anyway, you can get some familiarity. I think that's what kind of speaks to Syracuse basketball and is exciting to watch. So it is unique, and it shows my age, but I'm okay with that.
Again, 3 games in, lesser competition, but he is leading the team in scoring, just like his old man. Again, you played with Hakeem Work. He went to the NBA. You played with Carmelo Anthony. He had a very long NBA career. Does Kiyan look like an NBA prospect to you? Again, I know it's a short sample size.
Yeah, you never know. I think what's great about what I love watching about Kiyan is just you can just see his offensive skill and knowledge. Like, he just has that kind of grown-up game where he maybe doesn't have the athleticism that his dad had, that Carmelo has, but that's okay. He's so smart in terms of how he uses angles, how he uses his footwork, pump fakes, mid-range game. I think that just shows a very mature game. And as he starts playing against competition that's great defenders, more, very athletic defenders, you're going to, see how he handles that and how his scoring ability changes, and how maybe he has to have a little bit more assists than shots. I think he seems like he has a very high offensive IQ, and you see that probably from so many years of just working out with his dad, who was just a great offensive player. So I think that's great to see someone who has the ability to create his own shot, which then is going to help out other players on the team.
So again, we're 3 games into the season, but we were talking about this pre-show. This is a Syracuse team that went into overtime with Youngstown State last year, that struggled to beat a team like a Colgate. And now you come out of the gates and you have 3 very impressive routes, again, of lesser competition. But I think when you beat the teams that you should by that large a margin, that has to be a good sign.
100%. I mean, listen, the Binghamton game, Drexel games, those are my games, right? Those are the games I'm getting in. So it's nice to see, Syracuse getting back to the 30-point win and so forth. I think what's great about it, to your point, is when you're watching the game, you're seeing the energy, you're seeing the athleticism, you're seeing the defensive guarding that's really good to see. You just seen a lot that, okay, wow, this team is great. And so when they play Houston and when they play Kansas, that's where we're going to see it. Okay, what is to me, Dante Freeman is really a key to the whole team, right? How he plays offensively, because he can create his own shot. He's a mid-range, and he's got three, and he's doing post-ups. All right, so he's a guy that other teams have to worry about, that can create open space for Nate and for George and all that. So he's a key to me in terms of how he plays in these tougher opponents of a Houston, a Duke, a North Carolina. What concerns me is right now, like you watch the Drexel game, Drexel almost had 20 offensive rebounds. That's a lot, right? That's a lot of extra possessions. Okay, it's Drexel, but when it comes to Duke, Kansas, Houston, they're going to take advantage of those extra possessions. So one of the things I'm worried about is rebounding. Like for Donnie to have, let's say last game, 3 rebounds, that doesn't make sense to me, right? Of his athleticism, 6'11", everything. That's where I'm a little concerned about. But then on the positive side, we only had 7 turnovers against Drexel. That's great, right? Keeping it under 10. And so I want to see when we play Houston, who's a mature defensive team, what is our turnovers for that game, right? Are we under 12 turnovers? When you watch that game, are our shot selections good shots? Like if we miss good shots, we miss good shots. So that's part of the game. But if we're taking shots that are late in the shot clock, when you watch the shot goes up, you're like, that's not going in because it's a bad shot, right? That's where we're going to learn more about the Syracuse team, and then how they kind of, in these tough moments, how they come together. Like, is it guys going one-on-one all the time, or are they continuing to move, and trying to get open space versus just standing around? So those are the kind of little things that I want to watch in terms of turnovers and rebounding, and how they play in tough moments when they're getting guarded by a team like a Houston and Kansas. So that's why I think we're all excited in the next couple of weeks to see that competition, because, we like what we've seen from this lesser competition. Okay, now how does that translate to the next step?
And Andrew, I want to get you out here on this one. You just talked about the athleticism of Donnie Freeman. We were talking pre-show about William Kyle being one of the most athletic centers Syracuse has had probably since Rakeem Christmas. Does this look like an NCAA tournament team to you, at least in terms of the talent?
I think 100%, right? And you have to add in also freshman and Sadiq White, you watch him play defense. I mean, it's fantastic the way he plays defense. So it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Autry, uses him in the lineup. Like, you could easily go Kyle, Freeman, and Sadiq at the 5-4-3. That's a front court that's pretty athletic and great defensive, right? And then where you put how do you kind of manage right, Nate and Kiyan in terms of that, having shooting and guard skills. So I think 100% in terms of the athleticism, the defensive commitment, everything about the way the team looks. They look like they're having fun together. They look like they're playing well together offensively. They're still trying to learn each other's, where they like to be on the court for certain shot selection. Just learning how Kiyan or how Nate, handles things in terms of getting his shot. And all right, I know this is going on. Let me get in position to rebound. So that's all kind of a learning process that's going to happen over time. But when you're seeing them looking like they're passing, they're moving, they're just energy, and with that athleticism, 100%, I think it looks like a tournament team. And I think we're all very excited about that.
So we'll just have to see how it plays out over the next couple of weeks against Houston, against Kansas. Really good barometer games. Andrew, we'll have to have you on after to get your thoughts on them. But Andrew, we really appreciate your time again. 2003 national champion and the Juice Online senior basketball analyst, Andrew Kouwe. Andrew, thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome, man. Excited about what's going on.